So, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Now is where we say what we're thankful for. Not thankful for my health anymore, because thank God that. I'm thankful for all you guys. I'm thankful that all you guys stuck around. That the bulk of you guys stuck around. And I'm still getting the same numbers. That over the last 28 days of like me not doing YouTube or whatever, I lost like 10 subscribers. I lost less subscribers when I wasn't doing YouTube than when I was. Which is weird. But anyways. So, I mean, I guess it's not that weird. It's probably better to keep people, or easier for me to keep people when I'm not talking. But nevertheless, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Thank you all for being here still after all this time, after almost a year of me just not doing anything and all this shit. Thank you for, just thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for all your words in the comments. People who have never ever said a word to me before that were genuinely like, oh dude, I missed you. Like that shit really, the warm and fuzzies, it was amazing. The past couple of weeks have just been amazing for me guys. So I'm thankful for that. What are the rest of you thankful for? Put it in the comments. I'd love to read it. But I went to my parents' house today for Thanksgiving. Duh, that's what you do. And if you still got them. And I went to my parents' house for Thanksgiving, talking to my dad, talking politics and shit. And man, oh man, did that really make me want to discuss why it was I quit YouTube in the first place and everything that's going on. Like I was scripting it the whole fucking way home, and I'm like, it's Thanksgiving. Like I'm not talking about that on Thanksgiving. Like, no, we're not doing that on Thanksgiving, not a holiday. So instead, I would like to wrap up a story that started before I took my leave. And that story is One Punch Man. I watched it. Like it was a couple of months after I left. The seasons went on sale on Xbox, and I was like, fucking A. Like $10 for 2 seasons. Like it was 2 seasons, each were $10. I'm like, that ain't bad for 2 whole seasons of a TV show. $10 each. I could pay $20 for all of it. Paid $20 for all of it. And I watched it. And then I watched it again. And then I watched it again. I think I watched it like 5 times in a row. Just started from episode 1 and went to the end of the season 2 and just fucking watched once. And I watched it like 5-6 times in a row. I thought it was an amazing show. I really want to punch in the face whoever the fuck it was that told me it was just a show about a guy that beats people up in one punch. That is fucking no. Oh my god, what a terrible fucking review that guy gave. That has almost nothing to do with it. Like, more often than not, Saitama's not even there until like the very end. And honestly, more often than not, like a lot of times you don't even get to see him fight the dude. Like one of the biggest, nastiest, baddest baddies in the whole fucking show, like went into this martial arts tournament, just fucked the whole thing up, and just started turning people into monsters, and this, that, and the other thing. And like everybody's fighting him and each other, and it was this whole thing, and like this one dude who's like a total piece of shit. He's just in it for the money. Just in it for it. He does martial arts just for the money. Just to win tournaments. And he's damn good. He's the best fucking fighter. It sucks that the best fucking fighter does it just for the money. He doesn't even really care about it. And like through the course of fighting against this dude that becomes a monster, like his kind of almost rival that becomes a monster, like he figures it out, you know, like he has a moment, he has growth, and you can watch it happen, and he becomes a superhero. Like he becomes a hero instead of just doing it for the money. He catches on to the realization there is something greater to fight for, and he begins to fight for it, and he gets his fucking ass handed to him. He's beat the shit out. And then Saitama comes in and talks to him for a little bit, and they have kind of a moment, which is a really, like, the whole interaction between the two of them is amazing. It's really good, because to Saitama, it's just nothing. And to him, this is like an amazing, profound, you know, realization. And Saitama's like, well, dude, do you want to be a hero, man? fucking A, be a hero. He's like, that's what I want to do. And here I am. And then he's like, I'm going to go fight the monsters. The guy's like, no. He's like, no, please, no. I've learned so much from you. Blah, blah, blah. You can't go. You'll die. And he's like, pfft. And he leaves. He just walks off. And then there's like this whole inner monologue of this dude like furthering his realization and his epiphany and just getting deeper and deeper and deeper into the whole thing. And then like there's a big explosion in the background and he's like, oh, the guy that fucking he's dead. And then the big monster's head comes flying in and here comes Saitama and he's like, oh, that wasn't that tough. Like, you didn't see him fight the fucking thing. It was like a multi-episode bad dude. It did all sorts of shit. And, you get to see him fight him. It is fucking not even about the show. The whole show isn't even about Saitama. More or less. Like, he's a main character. He's in it all the time. It's more or less his thing. But the periphery characters are where it's at, man. It's where all of the good shit is. And when they interact with him, it's amazing. But beyond that, dude, he's a shit character. Like, Saitama is kind of a shit character. He's very one-dimensional. Like, he's a Mary Sue. He's a fucking Mary Sue. He's a great example of a Mary Sue. He's ultimately powerful. He didn't have to do shit to get there, except want to. And he's good for the sake of good. He has no reason beyond he just wants to be a good guy. That's his whole motivation for it. This is fucking it. He's Mary Sue. It's a whole show about Mary Sue. But what is the difference between that Mary Sue and, say, Star Wars? Well, the difference is in the writing. Because all the periphery characters were just all benefiting from fucking that bitch being there. She just came in and saved the day all the time, and they very rarely ever had to sacrifice anything because she'd just come in at the end and save the day. But the people in the show, man, Saitama's not good with being on time. He's late. Like, imagine Star Wars if Ren was always there in time to beat the bad guys, but not in time to save fucking anybody. That would make it One Punch Man, and it would be infinitely better. Right? Because it would be a spoof at that point. And I don't even think it's a spoof show. Like, people that think it's a spoof show, people that think that Saitama was a gag character and all that. No, it's not. Because it just isn't. Like, it's difficult to explain because it has, like, if you look up the definition of a gag character, he fits all boxes, he checks all boxes. Except for one. It's never a gag. Like, it's never funny. Like, sometimes it's funny. When he's fighting Lion King, King Lion, I can't remember his name, the Lion dude, and he whips out, like, I think it was, like, the first move that I think he ever really did in the show, like, the first named maneuver that I think he did in the show, and it was consecutive, normal punches. And when he said that, I went, like, it was the coolest man, I come from Dragon Ball Z, man, where you have Kamehameha, Gallic Gun, Final Flash, Solar Flare, Destructo Disc, all these cool fucking moves with these awesome, this fucking very dramatic, and he's just standing there, and he goes, consecutive, normal punches. And when he said that, it gave me chills on like any other fucking battle call for move I've ever. I was like, I just because I couldn't wait to see a named move, and that's what it was. It was like 3 consecutive normal punches. Like, it was hysterical, but at the same time, it wasn't a gag. It's just difficult to explain. It's in the writing, and really just how it's perceived by the audience member. I never saw him as a gag character. There were times where there were gaggy things. Like, there are gags like that in the show. Where Chi-Chi punches fucking Goku and knocks him for a loop. And you look at it like, Chi-Chi's got a power rating of like 20. The fuck just happened? Like, that kind of gag, he's in on a couple of those. Those happen, but he's never the victim of them. He's never the victim of that shit. Nobody ever punches Saitama and sends his ass for a loop. That shit don't fucking happen. You know what I mean? That's why I don't think he's a gag character. You never see that. Ever. Ever. There are all sorts of times where people like try and do shit to him. It's just a thing. And he either brushes them off so violently that they go fucking flying. And that's like where the gag is. Like Snake Bite Snake comes up to go and, you know, crush the newbie. And he just... And there he is. And like that's the gag. You really seriously thought you could fucking hang against this dude? He beats people in one punch. Like that's the gag. You know what I mean? He's never the butt of the joke. Everybody else around him is. Because they all think he's such a fucking nothing. And the show portrays him as such fucking nothing. Nobody knows who he is. Every single, like, big, nasty, evil, bad monster, the whole fucking show was beat by him, but the credit was given to somebody the fuck else. Like, he's a C-class super, he's the lowest class super, he barely fucking made it. He beat every physical trial test, set new records for all of them. However, his written test just barely eked him in. So he's just barely a hero. So, like, he's gotta go and deal with, like, he doesn't... Big Nasty Monsters comes up and they don't call him because he fucking... What do you call him for? He's supposed to go and deal with armed robbers and shit. Cats stuck in trees. Like, that's the heroic shit he's supposed to be doing. Like, if anything, you could say the entirety of the show around him is a gag. But him as a character? Not a gag. He is every single thing, me personally, I've wanted to see from, like, Goku. Just be who you fucking are, man. Just fucking walk around and do the thing that you do. But they never put him in that situation. Saitama, like, Goku has never found his ceiling, but he has had to break through a lot of barriers. He plateaus a lot. Goku will get to a certain point, plateau for a while, and then he'll have to push further. We still don't know where Saitama's first plateau... There's not been anything on the show that's fucking... he hasn't been able to handle one punch. And I mean, he doesn't just do consecutive normal punches, by the way. Oh, he gets into some serious stuff, too. He gets into some seriously serious stuff. He's got serious punch. It's a fucking serious punch. I think he did serious consecutive punches, which was fucking devastating. And he did serious side jumps, which honestly gives me nightmares when I think about it sometimes. Serious side jumps was just... But I mean, it's an amazing fucking show. And again, if anybody who describes it as it's just a show about a dude that beats people in one punch, you gotta go, yeah, but no, seriously, actually watch the show. Because they've never seen an episode. Even in the first episode, you don't get the feeling of that. And the big feeling that you do get about it is he ain't fucking happy. Like, Goku's always happy when he finally beats somebody because there's a lot of work that goes into, like I said, he plateaus. Gets to a point where he can't beat this person, and then he has to push past. And he has to earn. Saitama never gets that. He never gets to do that. He's never found an enemy that made him sweat. He's always disappointed. You imagine if fucking Frieza shows up and Goku runs up and punches him once and he's dead. That'd be a whole different fucking show, wouldn't it? Like, it would be a vastly different show. You'd have to build the whole show around that. And you'd have to make it about anything but that. And they do it beautifully. The writers for the show, there are awards that are given for anime, they need every fucking one of them. Every time they come out with a new episode, it should win some sort of fucking award. Because there aren't bad episodes in the show. It's 2 seasons straight. I watched 2 seasons straight. It was like 24 episodes. Not a bad one among them. Every fucking one of them is good. And that's weird. I mean, fucking Walking Dead didn't even make it out of the first season with me. I think I was 4 shows in before I was like, this is a shit show. This is never going to make it. This is crap. Boy, was I fucking wrong, but it didn't mean it wasn't a good show. This is still a shit show, and it's just gotten worse and worse and worse over the years. And now it's the real shit show, and I don't think anybody's watching that shit anymore. Like, I don't think I'm going to get a whole lot of, no. Like, you can't, man, motherfucker, you can't tell me The Farm Years was fucking great. What about it? The prison thing wasn't great. Well, the only thing that was great about the prison was, that fucking meme. That's the only great thing about the prison season of fucking Walking Dead, the meme. It wasn't good. Like, none of it was good. The fucking governor's shit and him coming back. The whole Negan thing, I didn't even think the Negan thing was ever even really that cool. It was cool that the comedian was getting work. That was my whole fucking thought of it. I'm like, well, I like that dude in Watchmen, and I'm glad he's getting work. That's my whole thought. But yeah, One Punch Man, amazing show. One Punch Man is a fucking amazing show. It's 2 seasons, and I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen it at this point, man, you gotta watch that shit. It's just good. It's just really good. And this is coming from somebody who was dead set against wanting to watch it. And then I watched one person do a decent review about it and actually talk about the depth of the show. And I was like, oh, that sounds actually interesting. You gotta watch it, man. It's great shit.